Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Blaire White again. Aside from the general topic, I have to say that Blaire White is so pretty. Her face is literally so gorgeous. I just watch her videos and I'm like, damn, you are so pretty. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's talk about the video. So Blaire White just uploaded a video 30 minutes ago called I Never Wanted to Say This about Shane Dawson. It is an 11-minute long video, and in that video she discusses the recent surfacing things that have happened about Shane Dawson. Now, as always, I have a list here of things she said that I want to talk about, but in this video I can tell that Blaire was being 100% authentic and 100% true to herself, and I respect that a lot because she's been put in a very uncomfortable situation. She has to speak out against her friend, and now Blaire's channel is very much so focused around calling people out on bad shit that they do, and I respect her for that. But the fact she now has to call out her friend and the person who she says in her older videos gave her that chance and the reason people know her name is a really hard thing for her to do, and I fully understand that. So her doing this video, I respect that. She started off her video by saying that she will always call out anything to do with children being wronged. Now, I'm not going into any more specifics, but you know what I mean. With the recent stuff about Shane Dawson, you know what I mean by children being wronged. She very much so advocates for the protection and awareness. She said, as we all know, she has a good friendship with Shane Dawson, and she's done many videos with him. And she said about how many things have resurfaced from Shane Dawson recently. Many old clips, a lot of content, jokes, commentary, just really inappropriate things he said over the years, and you could tell she was really uncomfortable and flustered with talking about this and really anxious, and so I was really listening to her in this video. Just content that Shane made about kids or preying on kids, and she had to call him out on this. So she shows the video of Shane and Lisa, his girlfriend at the time, doing the birds and the bees talk with his 12-year-old cousin. Now, the video is highly inappropriate. They use a peep and Lisa puts it up places, and they make weird sexual jokes, and Shane speaks in a really sexual voice to this underage girl, and it's a really weird situation. So that was not the best. So she showed that clip, and automatically I was like, oh shit, she is going to show the receipts with all this. So I knew that this video wasn't going to be biased, and of course, because she is Shane's friend and Shane gave her all these opportunities, she'll probably have a little bit of bias trying to support and show us that he's not the worst person ever. But I have to say, she wasn't biased in this video at all, and I totally respect her for that. And then she said if you were to say to her that one of the subjects of her videos talking about this kind of stuff was Shane Dawson years ago, she said she would have put her entire bank on it that she would never do a video on him. She said she never thought this day would come, or that she would even have to consider making a video like this. And I fully believe her when she says this, because you wouldn't think that you would ever have to do that with your friend. Now, I don't know what era she became friends with Shane in, but obviously she missed a lot of these old jokes and commentary and stuff, because as like us, she's very outraged by them now. So she was obviously within the recent years, I assume. She said how she has conflicting opinions, and I fully understand that. I think it's extremely understandable that she would have this, just because she is his friend. We see it with Trisha. Trisha is saying, I don't support these jokes, but here's why Shane is a good person. You know what I mean? At least Blaire's like, I'm going back and forth whether he is a good person. Like, she's very much so listening to her viewers and being like, let's have an open conversation. And I dead ass totally respect her for that. Newfound respect. She said she's put in such a difficult position, which we're all aware of. She said she's seen comments, DMs, and people asking her to keep the same energy for Shane like she did for Onision. Now, as we all know, Blaire's channel is calling people out for weird prey behavior, and she's done it with so many YouTubers. So whenever all this happened with Shane, everyone was like, oh shit, what is Blaire White gonna do? Because she either makes a video, loses her friendship with Shane, or does a video supporting Shane and loses her audience. But I think she has done the right thing in this. She has not been biased. She has not been totally against Shane. She's not been totally for Shane. She's kind of like, y'all, I'm like you. I don't know what to believe. I'm his friend, but at the same time, I'm disgusted by this stuff. And I can't say fully if he's still a good person or that he's changed, and I fully respect her for that. And she said the difficult answer is, yes, she is going to have to be consistent and keep up that same energy for Shane. And you know what? Props for doing that, Blaire. I think it should have been a given anyway, but you know what? You could have easily chose to ignore this or defend him, and I respect that you were not biased, or at least completely biased in your video, because that's hard to do. She said she doesn't want to do this and she doesn't want to go against Shane, but for her own morals and the purpose of her channel, she has to stay true to herself and her viewers, and she has to make this video on Shane, because we are all aware. You cannot ignore what's going on right now. Celebrities are outraged. YouTubers are outraged. The media is outraged. And all spotlights are on Shane right now because of these old videos. Like, everyone is aware of things that are going on right now, so she couldn't ignore this. None of us can ignore this. She said she hopes her video can be a conversation for parents, survivors, and kids. But she said the video was still as important for people just to be able to support these other people. And you know what? I'm so happy she included that. I think that was such a good point. You know what, Blaire? Hats off for that point. I think that was really important to say. Even if you're not in the affected section of this, listen so that you can learn how to support the people who are affected, and I think that is such a good point. So props. So she shows more older videos of Shane and the disgusting jokes and stuff, and I really do respect Blaire for not only having a conversation about this, but also being brave enough to show all the content that she's talking about. I haven't seen her older videos and if she does this throughout, but we have to realize that she could have easily not done this video, but also could have done this video and not shown any clips. So it would have been easier to say, hey, maybe he's not a bad person because maybe her audience haven't seen these clips, whether that's possible or not. But you know what? She did this honestly, she did this raw, and she showed clips that she talked about. And I really, Blaire, I am happy with the fact that you did this video and you did it properly. I really commend you on that. It's obviously not easy to go against your friend who's that much power because you seem very nervous in this video. She said we all have to realize that the internet and culture was different during this time. Now, she said that doesn't excuse it, but I still don't think, Blaire, in my honest opinion, that the internet and culture being a different time or different feel back then is an excuse, because these jokes were never funny. Whether they were encouraged is a different thing. Still, you should know as your own person that this stuff is not funny and it's not good to joke about or make content, make millions off of. So while you said that point, and I understand your reasoning for saying it, and I know you said that that doesn't excuse it, I do disagree, and I think that should not even be something that should be said, because a lot of the foundation of his YouTube channel was built off of this. It wasn't just one or two jokes, it was the foundation of his career were built off of these jokes. He exploited these jokes and these topics to build a career. So she said the Smith family are disappointed and disgusted by this content, so how can anyone else forgive it if they can't forgive it? In relation to the video of Shane and Willow Smith on the poster whenever she was 12 years old, and I'm so happy she said that point. If the Smith family cannot forgive Shane Dawson, why are other people who aren't involved running to forgive him? If the family can't forgive him, how are you supposed to forgive him? That's a message to his fans and the general public who are gonna support him after this. I know there's very few, but there's still some. So I thought that was a great point, Blaire. Thank you. She said one or two jokes, she's like, okay. But when there's 30 to 40 statements and jokes that some did not even sound like jokes, which I'm happy she said, because some of these didn't even sound like jokes. I agree, Blaire. Thank you for saying that and not passing it all off as jokes and as comedy, because this seemed to be a little bit further. She said it paints a picture of Shane, and the picture is further painted that Shane claims he was victimized as a child himself. Now, Blaire says that this is a cycle of people who were once victims then become offenders, and she said and made it very clear that she's not making any accusations against Shane, because she doesn't know if Shane has hurt anyone as an adult. But she talked about a clip that has been circulating a lot, and it's what Shane said he used to do to kids on his street while he was a kid as well, and the video is very much so Shane admitting it himself. So Blaire said he admits that he did this as a child. Now, we don't know if he does stuff like this as an adult. She can say he does, but also as his friend, she can't even say that he doesn't. So for his friend to say that, we're like, oh shit, how do you think we feel? You know what I mean? And she talked about how Shane admitted that he violated others when he was also a kid as a result of what happened to him. Blaire says because he wasn't an adult, we don't know if he does it now, but she was very upset about the fact that Shane repeated this story on a podcast while he was an adult in a humorous way. She said it wasn't humorous at all, it wasn't funny, and I agree with her. This stuff is not funny, and if things like this have happened to you, go seek help. Get help. Don't go on podcasts thinking it's funny to retell, because you're going to trigger and upset a lot more people. And you've already done that to so many people, but more things keep coming up, Shane, and it's like more and more and more. You're upsetting people whenever we didn't think you could upset us even more. She also says Shane having a public platform and him doing this in public, saying this on a podcast, is irresponsible, and I fully agree. He should not be promoting this, he should not be doing this, but promoting it is like a whole new level. You're encouraging your audience, in my opinion, to think that that behavior is okay, Shane, because you're laughing about it. You're not even saying it to try to teach people a lesson. You're laughing while telling it. Blaire thinks it paints a picture of someone who has not addressed their own trauma, talking about Shane. And she says that if you are a victim, it is vital to seek help. So I was very happy that Blaire made this video talking about Shane, but also what people can do if they're a victim, on how they can seek help so that they don't fall into the same pattern that Shane obviously did. She said there's no evidence that Shane now as an adult has done anything, but because of that clip of him, it leads her to believe that there was stuff when he was a child. And she said, Shane, you have to seek and find and go to therapy. Shane, your best friends are telling you this. We're telling you this on the internet, but your friends are telling you to go to therapy. And she said what's very important, that if Shane got help, it wasn't good enough. And I was happy she said that, because you can get help and be like, oh, I got help, all better. You know what? Maybe it's not good enough. Try seek more help. She said she condemns this behavior. She thinks it's disgusting. She said humor is humor, but Shane crossed a line, and he crossed that line so many times, and it definitely does paint a picture. She said she agrees that the jokes stem from trauma. She said that her fiance asked her, does she think that Shane Dawson is a... You can figure out what that word is yourself. And Blaire said, I don't think so. And she felt herself that she couldn't even say hell no or of course not, because she doesn't feel she knows Shane Dawson anymore. And that's sad coming from his friend. She said she's not in a position to say whether he's hurt people anymore, but she said he keeps putting trauma into the world, and I fully agree. With all this resurfacing and how he's reacting to things and ignoring families who are crying out for help, it very much so is very disappointing and upsetting. She said it makes her question how much trauma he puts out in private, but she's not going to say any statements, and she hopes this isn't the case. So again, not making any accusations, but she just wonders if he's doing this in public, what he's doing in private. She said, I can't be confident either way. And she was so nervous while saying all this, and it felt so genuine. And I'm pretty sure it was. She just seemed so confused, and making this video was definitely a hard thing to do, we can tell. She said she doesn't want to throw dirt on someone who's already down. We know that Shane Dawson's getting so much hate right now, and she didn't want to throw any more on there. Now we know, as his friend, she would probably have a lot of dirt. She said she doesn't want to pass up though on this important conversation, and that's why she needs to make this video. She says we need to stop the cycle of this happening, and it will hopefully stop. She said she's not trying to paint Shane as the victim for stuff he did as an adult, because he still did stuff as an adult. Jokes, humor, everything. She's not saying that he's a victim, which I thought was very smart of her to say, even though she was his friend. She really wasn't biased in this. She says, judge for yourself. She's not going to put every single clip in this video, but you can find them yourself because they're going viral. And she said, Shane was a grown man in most of these, and I agree, and I'm happy she said that. She said she doesn't know if Shane can come back from this, and I don't know if he can either. She says you need to get help if things like this have happened to you, speaking to your audience. And she says that she was very flustered making this video, and that she's really nervous, and it's just a really dark moment for her. And you know what, Blaire? My final thoughts. I hear you, I listened, I think this was a very genuine video. Thank you for this video, thank you for not automatically jumping on defending him, thank you for staying true to your content and also being critical, but also saying, you know, I can't say anything set in stone. I appreciated the angle you took, but also saying what people can do if they want to seek help and how they should so that the cycle stops. I appreciated it. So everyone, what's your opinion of Blaire White speaking out against Shane Dawson? She's now spoken up about Jeffrey, James, and now Shane. So she's spoken up about them all. She said she wants to go back to your normal content now, and you know what, Blaire? I'm happy that you've spoken up, and I'm proud of you for coming forward. So everyone, again, tell me what you think. I will see you in my next video, and bye. Mwah.